Hi, this is Jeff Kresge, one of the Jamestown Tech Integration Specialists, and I'd like to welcome you to your Chromebook. So this video is going to walk you through some of the basic functions of Chromebook, including some of your settings and some ideas that might make it easier for you to navigate. So let's get started. First of all, you have to log into your Chromebook using your JPS Google account. All of Chromebooks are account driven. So all of your files, your images, your projects, and your settings, they're all shared to the cloud via your Google account. So should you lose or you break your Chromebook, which you should not do, all of your stuff will still be ready to go once you sign into a different Chromebook or phone or whatever else. All of your materials will be up and saved to the cloud, which is excellent for not losing your materials. Let's take a look at our app launcher, our shelf, and our status tray. At the bottom of your screen, we see our app launcher. Your app launcher is located right here. And your app launcher, if you click the up arrow, shows all the apps on your Chromebook. You can move those apps around depending upon your usage, so you decide how you want them. And you can also combine apps into a folder. So if you want to get rid of the big mess that is multiple pages of apps, you can drag one on top of the other and you can create a folder. When you create a folder, you can feel free to go ahead and name that folder anything that you like, and you can put as many things in there as you want. If you decide down the road, folders is not really for me, you could just simply drag it back out and then rearrange. At the center of your screen, you have your shelf. Your shelf are the apps that are currently being used. So right now I'm currently using Chrome. As you can see, there's a little line underneath that, but you can add other things to your shelf as well. So let's say that something that you want to use a lot is Evernote. And when I click on Evernote with two fingers, it says pin to shelf, and it will simply go onto your shelf. If you decide that Evernote is something that you don't want on your shelf or you want to move it around, you can do that too, but you simply just drag it off of your shelf and it disappears. The last thing that we'll talk about here is your status tray. So your status tray is in the bottom right-hand side, and the status tray tells you what exactly it is that you're doing currently on your machine. So Screencastify is recording my screen. It's telling me that's what's going on. You can tell that I'm signed in. I'm using JPS 1-to-1 as the Wi-Fi. My settings are located here, accessibility features, volume, etc. Real important on your status tray is your percentage and your time. I would pay much closer attention to the percentage than the time. The time does jump around a little bit depending upon what apps that you're using. To change your settings, we're going to go down to our status tray and we're going to click on the gear. And the way that the settings work, there are lots of them in Chromebook, and you can scroll down through them using two fingers on your trackpad. Dragging down scrolls down, and two fingers dragging up scrolls up. You can also navigate using these particular things on the left-hand side, kind of like chapters of a book. And then at the top is probably what you want to do most often. So if you're searching for accessibility features, type in accessibility and you'll see that. I want you to do this, if you could please, go to accessibility features. So just in your gear, go to settings and then open up and type in accessibility, and want to make sure that this is turned on. The default is that it's off. Please turn it on, and so we'll be able to access our accessibility features. You probably also want to go ahead and change your wallpaper. So again, go into your search bar, change your wallpaper, and hit the link to open the wallpaper app, and then you can go ahead and choose from anything on the left-hand side and choose your new wallpaper. Let's talk about keyboard tips for your Chromebook. The keyboard tips, two-finger scroll will allow you to scroll down through something. So for example, if I go into my Google Drive, I can use the scroll pill on the right-hand side, and I can scroll down using that. But I can also use two fingers to go up or down on my screen. So two fingers on the trackpad allow you to do that. Two fingers on the trackpad is a right click. So you have those options there as well. So two fingers on your trackpad. If you want to know all of your keyboard shortcuts, if you hit the Control, the Alt key, and the question mark, you will bring up your keyboard shortcuts tab menu. And you can see, again, your navigating is the same way, so you can scroll down through and see what's there. You can also do tabs and windows down on the left-hand side. You see the different chapters. But if you want to find out something in particular, if you just type in tab at the top, here are all of your options for different tabs. Again, that is Control, Alt, and the question mark with the search bar at the top to find whatever you want. Trackpad Gestures. One finger is simply to click and to drag across your screen. 2 fingers is a right click or to scroll. If I swipe up for 3 fingers, it gives me my multiple screens that I can simply switch back and forth from. Really quick, easy way to swap windows back and forth. So that's 3 fingers up. If you're up at the top and you're at the tab and you decide that you want to go over to this tab, if you 3 fingers to the right or 3 fingers to the left, you can scroll between your tabs while you are in Chrome, which is a pretty slick little system. So let's talk about pinning your tabs in Chrome. Chrome will be the basic internet browser that you're going to use for your Chromebook. And if there are certain websites that you go to a lot, Google Drive, for example, and you want to pin it to your tabs, you can do that. Find the internet sites that you want to go to the most, and then if you double click on your Chromebook, you can then pin that to your tabs so it will always be there. So if there's something that you want to go to frequently, that's how you can pin website. To manage your files, what you're going to do is we're going to go into that app launcher again, and we're going to find files. So this time, rather than go through it, we'll simply type in files. And there is my files. And with your files, I would suggest putting your files on your shelf at the bottom, because your files are where you're going to find your things. Most of which you're going to use the Chromebook for is going to be internet stuff, but you can also create on your Chromebook, as I am doing now for this video, and you want to be able to find it. So anything that you've created will be in your files, and it's on the left-hand side is how you toggle down through. For example, if I wanted to see any images that I've got saved on my machine, these are images that are saved locally. They're not on the web. So if I lose my machine, I lose these images. Likewise, the videos that I've created, most of which are for this video, are located right there. But if I want to look at anything that I've downloaded, I'm going to go to my files, and the downloads are underneath. So if I've downloaded anything off of the web, that's where you're going to find those downloads. The other thing that's probably most important for you in your Chromebook is access to your Google Drive. So if you click your Google Drive and then My Drive, you can then walk down through and find all of your Google Drive materials that's there. So if you wanted to find it in Chromebook using the Files app, you certainly can do that. You can also, as we said earlier, just simply go out on the web and find your Google Drive that way. So that's how you manage that. And again, it's important to note that if you download anything, it's going to be saved on your local machine. And please know that if you lose your machine or your machine breaks or has a breakdown, anything that's saved locally on your machine, you will lose. So make sure that when you're making any videos or you're making any recordings or you're working on projects, that you drop those into your drive when you're done, and then you'll be all set. So let's say that you want to take a screenshot of something that is on your screen. There's a couple ways to do it. If you hit Control, Shift, and then the multiple window, it gives you the option to do a camera recording or a screenshot. And this icon allows you to do a full screen screenshot. And this one allows you to capture an area. So let's say that we just want this ultraviolet micrography, which I can't even say, image. So we'll take that, we'll highlight that, we'll capture, and it goes directly into our folder. So if we want to find it, click Show in Folder, and it'll take us to our files. And here it is located right here. If you have a PDF and you would like to annotate that PDF, I pulled up this PDF. You grab the PDF, so it's on the web, and if you hit the pencil, it will give you some options to modify your PDF. So here at the top of the screen, I'm going to do it in purple, and I'm going to use a nice wide marker so that you can see. So if I want to circle that, great. If I want to highlight some materials on this particular document, I'll go to my highlighter tool. I will highlight in yellow, again, nice and wide so I can see. And I can drag across the area that I would like to highlight. It might not work like that for all of your PDFs, but this one worked out really, really well. If you want to go to page 2 of your PDF, you just simply drag down using 2 fingers, and you can zoom so you can be nice and accurate, or you can zoom back out again. So that's how you modify your PDF. Now, once you're in your PDF, you want to make sure that you download your changes. Otherwise, you'll lose them, or you can take a screenshot. Either way, if you hit the download, it will download with your changes or without. We want to do it with your changes, and it will save that file in your downloads folder. Again, if you save it in your downloads folder, it's just going to be on this machine, and then you probably want to put it in your Google Drive. So to do that, go to Google Drive, My Drive. You can pick a folder that you'd like to drag it into. And then so you take your screenshot and you simply drag it into wherever it is that you would like to drop it into. Let's talk about accessibility features. Weirdly, accessibility features are not very accessible on the Chromebook. So I'm going to show you how to get there. There's a couple different ways. We're going to go back to our status tray, and we're going to click the settings button. And when we click the settings button, there's 2 ways to get to it. First of all, on the left-hand side, it does not show up. Accessibility is not there. So if you click advanced and then accessibility, and then manage accessibility features, then you could see it. The other thing that you want to do is you want to, as I said previously, make sure that this always show accessibility options in the system menu is toggled on. The other way that you can go anytime you're in settings is just type in accessibility, and it'll take you here. And then if you click this arrow, so all of our accessibility features then show up. If you had that toggle on, the accessibility features are also available here under accessibility, under your status tray, and you can switch them on and off from here. So that's how you get to your different accessibility features on the Chromebook. I am currently doing a screen recording, but I'm using Screencastify. I tried to use the built-in screen recorder earlier, and I wasn't as successful. However, if you'd like to try it, it is Control, Shift, and the multi-window, which is the key above number 6. And you could turn your camera on. Again, you have that whole screen option or just part of a screen. So if you just want to do a window, for example, you drag across whatever it is that you want, and then you click the record button. Again, that is the Control, the Shift, and the multi-window button number 6, and that is how you control that. If you want to do audio, you want to make sure your microphone is on by using the gear key. Again, off is not lit, on is lit, and you'll be all set. That is the basics to navigating your Chromebook. I hope that this helped. Remember, whenever you get stuck, you can always Google things. Go ahead and explore, use your app launcher, pin things to your shelf, use your status tray, and good luck. If all else fails, Google it or contact your friendly neighborhood tech integration specialist at Jamestown Public Schools. Thanks.